I did a little bit of preparation here. I stamped out the Zen Ocean on these new artist tiles that I got. So this is a black £60 Strathmore artist tiles. They're all linked in the description below for you, but they're great. They'll take watercolor, they'll take markers, everything, and I've already heat embossed it with some Ranger super fine white embossing powder. So these are the pens we're going to use. They're called Kirarina. They're from the makers of Copic. When you start out, you just give them a bit of a shake and a little bit of a pump, and you'll see there that now the tip starts writing. So I did have a little bit of an issue that I forgot to press record as I started colouring, but I'd just done that little bit with the gold, so I picked it up quickly. I'm going to be using all of the different Kirarina shades. I think there's 3 packs of 4, if I remember correctly. You do end up with a couple of duplicates of white, so do hop on over to my blog because I'm going to be giving one of those duplicates away this week, and there's a little giveaway on the blog if you leave a comment, so hop on over there. Again, link in the description for you. So I'm going to go all the way over. The one thing I will let you know is, so I work panel by panel, so I try to pick out an element. For instance, these lovely kind of scrolls that run through the thing, I did those in gold. You'll see I do all the fishes in green, I do some of the splashes in blue, and then I go back and fill in the gaps with the other colours. That's just how I like to work. I try to work quite systematically. I also have that scrap piece of white either to pump out colours or to just kind of hide my hand. Because I'm left-handed, I cover up what I've done, so you'll see me use that later on in the colouring as well. Also, do not shake these pens without the lid on. You'll see later on with the pink, I do that and I end up with a little dot of pink, but I'm just going with it being an extra little splash there and not worrying about it too much. The other thing is you'll notice that I'm a little bit more careful colouring with this than I am with watercolour, because they are a paint, metallic paint medium, so that they will cover up that white enamel embossing powder if you colour over the top too heavily. So I'm a little bit more careful than I am normally. So let's listen to some little honeybee tunes and I will finish colouring up this piece. finished panel. This is a new tool I've got. It's a cut and scoreboard in one. So you can see there it has this little tool that cuts up and down. It has a spare blade at the top, and then it also scores. So this piece is 6 by 12 inches. So it's a piece of just white cardstock in 12 by 12 that I cut in half. I've scored it at each end at 3 inches. So you saw there I turned it around. This also expands out to 12 inches, which I think is a really great tool. And I love that it has somewhere for me to put my bone folder in so that I can't lose it rather. So I'm going to fold these towards the center, ready to put on our piece. I trimmed my piece down to around about 5.5 inches square. So it's a little smidgen over, and the great thing about this cutter that I use is it has the markings on either side. I know it's a little bit out of shot, but I can see the 3 3/4 on both sides to make sure that it's in the right place. So I'm going to use some Tonic Funky Tape Runner to stick these down. I'm going to stick one on each leaf of the card, and I line it up with that center fold so that I've got a little bit of a rim on the other 3 sides. I do the same on the other side and make sure that I line it up so that it comes to that perfect center in there as well. And we can stick that down again against that center edge so that you have space only on those 3 sides. Now we're ready to add our sentiments, and I just wanted to firm up my piece there as well with the bone folder. Your center insert, which went a little bit out of blurriness, was 5.5 inches square, and I'm using the Mermaid song sentiments again, the Let's Celebrate and Seize the Day, because I'm going to be using these as a congratulations card. So I'm stamping them out with my Versamark. When I'm on black cardstock, this is Lawn Fawn black cardstock that again is all linked below the video, I don't tend to use my embossing powder tool unless I get some stray pieces. And here I'm using my Tim Holtz tool, and again, if you want some tips on heat embossing, I will make sure those videos are linked for you. And I'm also going to leave you the links to use the foam in the Tim Holtz platform as well, and some of my 10 top tips to using your stamp platforms. Again, stamping this out with Versamark, and I'm going to use the Ranger Superfine White Embossing Powder and my nice Jedikins tray there. And you'll see in a second I get a little bit of stray powder, and that's when I use my powder tool. So I'm going to bring that in once I've tidied my powder away, because I have a habit of knocking it over. So you can see that there's that stray pieces, and I just use the embossing buddy or powder tool there to get rid of those, but you do then get those little powdery pieces. So first of all, I then heat emboss just using my regular heat embossing tool, and in a second I'll show you how I remove those marks as well, because they are easily removable. I'm going to just leave this center panel just like this, and I'll probably write in one of those Kirarina markers as well to write my sentiments so that it all ties together nicely. And again, we'll do the same with the Seize the Way. I'm going to cut the Seize the Way out. I've got that little die you can see there. That's a My Favorite Things Basics die that has a zigzag stitch edge. But here I'm using the sand eraser, and I can go around and get rid of all of those powder marks. So I will work on it a little bit more after the video, but just to show you there how I get rid of the majority. And you can get rid of everything with that sand eraser. It's one of the best tools I ever discovered. And I'm going to use my Tamiya masking tape on this. I love this for die cutting. It doesn't tear any of my paper. You could also use the purple tape you sometimes see me use, but this one is even more gentle. I'm running it through the Vagabond just out of shot, and I'm getting all my supplies ready to put our card back together, and I'll link that die up for you as well. It's just a nice little small sized one. So again, Tonic Funky Tape Runner on that center panel, and mine was a little bit wibbly wobbly, and I got rid of those marks there just with a paintbrush afterwards, just a dry one. And what I did use afterwards was just a wallpaper roller. Again, I'll link that up for you. So to add our sentiment on the Seize the Day, I'm going to use some of my Big Mama foam tape, but actually what you want to do is only put it on half, because otherwise you stick your 2 card pieces to down. But I did decide to double stack it just so that it gives me that little bit of extra room, and then I can stick down the Seize the Day in the middle there. So we've got this lovely gatefold card. You can see a couple of the pictures we took on the screen right now, and it'll also pop up with a little hedgehog symbol and a little honeybee symbol. Do click both of those to subscribe to our channels. Thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget to check out the pen giveaway over on my blog, and I will see you again next Saturday for some more Saturday stamping here at Honeybee Stamps. And of course I'll be regularly this week on the Hedgehog Hollow channel. See you again soon. Happy stamping. Bye.